This is one of the most important video descriptions or disquisitions or pieces I've done, and I want you to listen carefully and commit this to memory. It's about a subject and a word that is used too much, and always incorrectly. Now, before we begin, first, let me remind you, as usual, to like this video, to subscribe to the channel, and the like. And let me also tell you right now that our sponsor is our dear friends from My Patriot Supply. You call right now. Go to preparewithlionel.com right here. Preparewithlionel.com. You get $200 off a 3-month supply. And we're not talking about some banana chips and prunes. We're talking about 2,000 calories a day, 21 varieties, and a 25-year shelf life. Tasty breakfast, lunches, dinners. You go through this 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets. Let me tell you something. Remember years ago when people used to laugh at the notion of prepping? They call you a prepper, like you were some kind of a lunatic, some guy who believes in black, helicopters and tinfoil. Look around you now. Ask the folks in Lahaina. Ask the folks in Washington State. Ask the folks in Northern California. Ask the folks all over this country. What is happening? And when things shut down, businesses shut down, stores shut down, there's no food. You might have laughed at this 5 years ago, but I'm never going to laugh at the notion of prepping or being prepared or having food that lasts 25 years. And once you get it, you stack it and you don't have to think about it. Because let me tell you something. When you know what hits the fan, everything shuts down. Preparewithlionel.com. Go see for yourself. And there's a link attached here too. Okay, let me explain something to you right now. When somebody hurts a child, and by the way, this is not for children, so please get them out of the room. When somebody hurts a child, I don't care what their motivation was. I don't care what their sexual titillation was. I don't care what they found attractive. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If a man rapes a woman, does it matter whether it's heterosexual? Is that what we call them? Do we say no? It's a violent attack of a human being. If this is the bottom line here. And when you talk about pedophilia, this is a part of chronophilia. These are people who are sexually attracted by virtue of age. There's gerontophilia, people who like older people. There's hebephilia, ephebophilia, these names, prepubescent, postpubescent. This is sick. Who cares? Let me explain something to you. You can think anything you want. You can have sexual ideations about a mallard or a soap dish or a speed bump or a dart or a woodchuck. I don't care. You can think anything you want. Let me explain this to you again. You can think, you can ideate, you can fantasize. Thought crimes are not against the law. When you touch a child, you are a criminal. A criminal. And we don't euphemize or explain or categorize the motivation behind your attacking and hurting this child. That's what this is. We're giving a kind of a weird quirk. We're saying, "Oh, this is a pedophile." No, this word. This word. I know what you mean. I know what people they use it to denote somebody who hurts or attacks or, God forbid, rapes a child. But what we're talking about here is something different. What we're talking about is somebody who hurts a child. Let me explain something to you. I don't know what it is. It goes back to Foucault and Sartre and all these others who part of this weird 60s French Revolution where the intellectuals would draft notions about whether we should reconsider whether a child can consent. I don't know where this came from. Again, you can think about whatever you want. There was a thing years ago called NAMBLA. Remember that? North American Man-Boy Love Association. It was an organization which advocated a reconsideration under the law of statutes that prohibited or prevented or proscribed or penalized sexual contact between a man and a boy, right? Now, I always thought, who are these people? I always thought it was just talk radio fodder when you didn't know what to say. It was a slow day. You dig out the old NAMBLA story. Now, believe it or not, and this always bothered people, there's nothing against the law about you advocating the repeal of anything. You can advocate the repeal of murder laws. You can say, I don't think murder is a big deal. Years ago, there was NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And people believe that drug laws should be overturned. Okay, fine, whatever. Doesn't mean you can smoke dope before it's overturned, but you can advocate all you want. I want thought and ideas and ideation and perverted, sick paraphilia thoughts over here. I don't care about thoughts. Thoughts are whatever you want. I don't care what your motivation was to hurt a child. Let me also explain to you something. Do you understand? And I know there's been a tremendous move on the part of a lot of people, especially over the years, to try to euphemize, so to speak, this notion of not euphemize, but what am I trying to say? There's been a move to kind of dissuade you from really dealing with the notion of human trafficking. Look at the response to Sound of Freedom. People are saying, "Oh, that's a right wing, some Looney Tunes crazy." What? Stop it! I don't know where this comes from, but let me explain something to you. The people who are involved for the most part in human trafficking of children are not pedophiles. They may be looking for a particular audience down the road, but do you think the people involved in slave trades were racist? It's about money. Do you think that people who are involved, Pablo Escobar, who trafficked in cocaine, was interested in a debauched lifestyle and was pro? He didn't. No, he wanted money, and they're going to, no matter what you say, they're going to traffic in anything that allows them to make money, whether it's stolen goods or chop houses, shops for cars or endangered species or rhino tusks or whatever. Understand criminality. When you use the word pedo or pedo over and over and over and over, believe it or not, you are systematically chipping away at the notion of there being a sick, vile criminal that needs to be ablated from the world immediately. Okay? These are people who need to be either put in prison forever, or, well, we'll talk about other perhaps ways of dealing with this later. Their motivation, remember, any philia is a love of. An enophile likes wine, and come on, I'm those individuals who are into other forms of Philadelphia. That's a different story. I don't mean to belabor the point, and I don't mean to trivialize, and I don't mean to over and excessively confound the obvious. What I mean to do is simply do this. When we use a term that deals specifically with the sexual predilection, a form of enticement, something that people find attractive, whether you're into frottage or urolagnia or undonism, as the case of remember the Pissgate stories? Remember that? They were talking about golden showers. They had that. Even that? Well, that's not against the law unless it's involuntary. But what people find attractive or enticing or what have you, I don't care. That means nothing. What I care about is when human behavior traverses the line and people are hurt, sexually abused, or battered, or people are killed for whatever the motivation. Let me explain this to you one more time. The motivation means nothing to me. This is why hate crimes drive me nuts. And the reason why is simply this. A hate crime is something that is a crime, which is already cognizable at law, meaning it is against the law. And because of the motivation, because of the target of the crime, because of the individual that is that is the target, or because of the inspiration, the intent. For example, I'm hitting this person because he's gay or because he's a Catholic or because of whatever. That's a different story. What I'm taking is I'm taking an otherwise constitutionally permissible thought, namely hate, dislike, because you can hate and dislike people. And I'm pairing it with something that's already against the law, already cognizable at law as a crime. And I'm aggravating it merely because I'm daring to utter a constitutionally protected idea. Who cares why I hit somebody? There's no such thing as a love crime. I can't have a case mitigated, lessened, minimized because I love somebody. And that was a weird way I showed love. There was a case in New York of a guy who happened to rob on a regular basis a group of people who got together on weekends and they were gay. And they asked him and said, "Did you rob them because they were gay?" He says, "Yes." Ah, so you hate gays? Oh, no, no, no. It's not because I have any animus towards them. I thought they would be an easier target. I was wrong, he said, turns out. But just like if somebody goes after the elderly, he's not a chronophobe versus a chronophile, which is the umbrella rubric that all of these age-related sexual ideations focus on. He doesn't hate all people. He picks a target. Is a rapist a heterosexual? I mean, the words don't make any sense. The words, if I rob you because I'm jealous of you, who cares? Who cares why? I robbed you. I stole from you. I hurt you. I hit you. I battered you. This is what, and I understand, listen, there's a bunch of people who just, one in particular, there's a woman I know, she can't get through a sentence. She thinks everything from Epstein to Sound of Freedom to anything, PETA. I mean, she just, it's her word. It's like a tick. And she's missing the point. Epstein was about blackmail. I'm going to talk about that later. Epstein was about blackmail. Understand how this thing works. Okay? I know you know what I'm talking about. Stop referring to the motivation and focus on the crime. Now, thank you again for watching. I appreciate this. Please subscribe. You know the routine. And I'm telling you again, listen, I can't say this enough. My Patriot Supply. Use preparewithlionel.com. This link, which I have right here. Start storing food. 25 years. Look around you. I don't know what's going on here. I don't want to get conspiratorial, but there's something wrong. And people who thought enough to have food, who say to themselves one day, "Thank God I did this." He doesn't have to be Lahaina. Thank God. It can be just a regular inclement weather. It could be just something. It could be another strike, another. Remember when they were closing the ports down or whatever. Who knows what's happening right now? Because when one store closes, this panic sets. All right, I've said enough. I thank you for watching. Please have a great and a glorious day. Remember what I said, and please comment as you see fit.